Hello everybody, it's Lou from Cool Kedge TV, and I hope, I don't know what I said like that. It's Cool Kedge here, hope you're doing alright. Crazy today. Oh my god, guys, October, Halloween. Oh, I follow these guys on Twitter, they are the Halloween people. They have been doing a countdown since Halloween finished last year. They must be so excited, it is upon us. Today is World Animal Day, and this really does speak rounds for me this day today, because animals, as I said in my other video, they need protecting, they don't have a voice. And you know what? The amount of smuggling of animals across the world that happens, it just boggles my mind why anybody would think it's okay to do that, to get some money. Here are some examples of unbelievable cases of smuggling. There was an orangutan in a plastic crate as a baby, it was snatched from his mother. And it was just, it just breaks my heart. A male tiger stuffed into a duffel bag. Here's some pictures that's coming up as well, guys. That was in Texas. The first one was Indonesia. This one. Yellow-crested cockatoos stuffed in a water bottle. Wasn't even like a lemonade bottle size. It was like one of those little thin. Awful. That was Indonesia. King cobras put into potato chip containers like tins. And then this one, people do go to the extremes. There was this one lady, here's a picture. She had this purpose-made apron with 51 tropical fish in separate bags on her. Why do it? And I know there's some countries like Korea and China, they eat. We were watching a documentary yesterday about it, and I had to stop watching it at the end because I eat meat. I'm never going to stop eating meat. I know the process of cows, pig, but I don't eat duck, I don't eat rabbit for the reasons of I just don't want to. But they eat everything. They had bats, like big bats. They had monkeys. They're not allowed to do that anymore because thank God there's some law against it. They were eating anything you can think of. They had it there. Everything. And I was thinking, oh my God, those bats, they had meerkat. Oh, I just don't get it. I said to my partner, I said, why do they still do this when they've got plenty of other meat that is... I know people like with vegans and stuff, you shouldn't hurt animals, blah de blah de blah, but that's not reality. That isn't going to happen. People will eat meat and they will continue to do so. But I don't know why they have to eat like dog and cat and guinea pig and hamsters. I don't know why they have to eat them things when there's plenty of things like cows and pigs, wild boar. Things that, it just boggles my mind, and the sooner this stops, the better. It's like with elephants, killing them for their tusks, and just stop. People posing with giraffes because they've shot them like it's some sort of like something to be proud of. No, you look like a savage. So we need to protect the animals. World Animal Day. As you all know, I've got my two dogs, Chip and Indy. Lovers, they can be a bit annoying, but they are little loves. And God, protect the animals, give them a voice, let them be heard, because they can't do it themselves. But guys, it is just awful, absolutely awful what these animals go through just so we humans, not me personally or you guys, but just so they can make some money. It is just so sad. So today is World Animal Day, hashtag World Animal Day. I'd love to hear what pets you've got at home, guys. And just be kind to animals, be kind to people, just be a nice person. I know, I'm sorry guys. If you're finding the series of Shane Dawson a bit much, I do apologise, but I'm finding it so interesting. The Mind of Jake Paul. The most recent one yesterday was The Enemies of Jake Paul. I'm going to try and keep it as, well, try and say to you guys in a small nutshell of what has been happening. It started off the video with a lot of backlash again from other YouTubers. This time you had, did make me laugh actually, because I mentioned the dark side of Shane Dawson that PewDiePie brought out. Shane Dawson has put PewDiePie in his video when he was going tattoos, sociopath, and PewDiePie was looking, he got True Geordie in there. He was saying he was having a mini panic attack and he was overreacting with the text message he received from Jake. Again, a story guys, so he's used all them in there. But basically, Shane sent out a tweet saying, that's it guys, I'm going to reveal, or I'm not holding back, what you see is what you're going to get. So I was like, ow! He managed to get hold, after a long time, of Nick Crompton. Yes, I don't know if I said Nick Crompton in the last one. I apologise if I got it wrong. Who is Nick Crompton? Nick Crompton is a marketing businessman. He started off in Britain, starting a marketing agency. It done so well and got so big, he moved to Los Angeles, and that is where he met Jake Paul and created Team 10 with him. So he is one of like the originals. He is a businessman, and he has seen it all, probably. He has seen it all. He was a bit apprehensive about talking about Jake because, as he said to Shane, he said the main thing is I never want to lose myself, and I will never publicly talk about the personal lives of others, and I would only do it if Jake agrees for me doing it. So, cut long story short, Jake did agree that Nick could talk to him about everything, and so he did. Shane got a text from Nick. He had to go to this place. This place happened to be an amazing, huge mansion. They couldn't record the front of it because Nick is having a lot of problems still with dealing with the whole Team 10 thing, the amount of people that were there all the time. So he's keeping his private life quite private at the moment, which is fair enough. So they got to this house. They were a bit early, so he was going to text him. And then all of a sudden you hear this noise, like, and there's this door opening behind him, like Aladdin's cave. Then out comes this lady called Madeline. Bit strange lady, but hey, she seemed quite a nice lady. It was huge, this house. I think it had 4 or 5 floors. There's a cinema, an elevator, a conference room, a gym, a pool, networking, so other YouTubers live there as well. Shane did blur out some of the things this lady was saying, so I think she gave too much away, so he got rid of that bit. But my God, guys, the house was amazing. He's built Team 10 and he got amazingly famous very, very quickly. So once they got in and they'd settled down, they started talking. He lived inside the Team 10 house and he said it was like a college experience because he's never been to college, so that is what he's going to class it as. It was a group of friends living together, having a great time, but they were making money from it because it was a business. And he said also as well, what you see on YouTube is not what you see behind closed doors or when the camera is cut off. And one question that really did interest me, which I have questioned myself as well, is are the videos real or fake? They are fake, they are all planned, and as Shane said, it makes you realise or just makes you think that actually maybe isn't as crazy impulsive as we all think. He is doing it for a business side of things. His mind is working, thinking, oh, the people who watch my videos like this, this and that, so let's go and do that, that and that. As Nick said, he didn't want to be the Grinch of, oh, it's all fake, and all the young fans, because I know my younger niece, Lexi, she is 11, she is a Team 10 lover, everyday bro, she is one of those, dab out the haters, I don't know. He didn't want to go and crush everyone's dreams of saying it was fake. I still don't think that it would put people off. I still think they would watch because he has such a big fan base, but I don't actually personally know about that. I really, really don't. Actually, Shane did start to talk about this other video when the paparazzi were there, and it was a strange, crazy video. It didn't really have any context. It's like Jake was doing it to get a reaction. I know a lot of his videos are to get a reaction anyway, but it was so strange. And one thing, I shouldn't have laughed. You know when you think, oh no, I've laughed at one of his videos, that is like, not good. But he was standing there, he was like up to Nick, like doing this horn in his ear, he he flicked it off the table, and then he got this plunge and he went, nipple plunge, and then this, I was like, what? Nipple plunge? Just very, very random, but all of it is planned. All of it is done for a reason, and that's another thing as well that really, really hit Jake Paul hard. The Martinez Twins, sorry if I said that wrong. They turned against Team 10. They were obviously living there for a long time on and off, coming in and out, and they were saying that Jake bullied them, that they were really nasty to him all the time, and all of the other Team 10 members were like, there was no such thing happening, there was no bullying, and as Nick said, it was all planned. So how can it be? It is very confusing. So obviously the Martinez Twins had their own idea of publicising their own YouTube channel, maybe, of getting a little bit of a, oh, Jake Paul done this, so let's use that against him. I don't understand why you'll do that when someone has helped you towards fame. It's a tricky old thing that. Apparently Jake and the Team Teners broke down their bedroom, which was all fake. They went and built it that day and knocked it down the same day. It was nothing to do with their actual bedroom, which very interested me because I was like, That's a bit sneaky if that is all true. So going back to Jake Paul's audience, there was an interview with him and he was asked, what are your target audience age? And he said between the ages of 8 and 16. Fair enough, but there is this one video that I find a little bit too much. I don't know, I haven't watched the whole video, I have no mean to watch it because I just don't want to, but what I've seen of it is the clown kidnap video where these clowns and all the killer clown rage, you know, well, that I just think it's ridiculous. If you're one of those people, get a life, you freak. But they were kidnapped, and from a younger person's perspective, so Lexi, for example, who's 11, 12, if she was watching that, she would have thought that was real. A lot of things that Junior watches, you've got Clay Travis Wild, the ninja. You can tell that it's all staged what he's doing, but from a younger point of view, it looks so real, it feels real, the acting's amazing. That would have caused a lot of worry to some viewers, and I just didn't agree with it, especially if your audience is 8 to 16. You just don't do things like that. There's a time and place, and that was a bit freaky scary. There's just no need for it. Pranks I don't like anyway, let alone when they push the barrier a bit too far and then it goes into kidnap and oh, we were kidnapped. It's a bit like, no, just don't do it. Jake and Erica's relationship, and Nick Crompton did say that is one of the best things that has ever happened to Jake Paul, as she keeps him in place, and he's never had that before. So if he's going too far, she will tell him. There's a little bit of a clip of them where obviously they've had a bit of a Barney, and he's going, oh, we're all right, and she's like, no, we haven't, we've been arguing all day, blah de blah sort of thing. So he is very happy for Jake that he is still with Erica and everything is going right. But Team 10 is real. So the people that you see, the relationships that are there, they are real relationships, but they are dramatised for YouTube to keep people interested. Another thing that really interested me as well was that there's a big conspiracy about people paying in to be in Team 10, so giving Jake money to be within Team 10. And Nick interestingly said that Jake wouldn't have you in there if you couldn't bring anything to the table. Bribery wouldn't happen, he would have to like you, which was quite interesting to me. So you've got to have something to offer to be there. So either like for the new Team 10 members that Shane was talking about, they can sing, some of them have money, they've got good wealth, they're very popular. So weighing that up is quite interesting. And Jake Paul does take a percentage of their wages, but it doesn't go in Jake Paul's pocket, which was interesting. It goes in the Team 10 pocket, which is the business. And the way Nick Crompton described it was, because he helped set up, Team 10 is the company, Jake Paul is the face of Team 10. So all the money that goes in, or Jake takes from the Team 10 people, goes back into the Team 10 business, so he can pay the editors, the recording people, the floor space. So it isn't him pocketing it. It isn't him taking backhanders, because he doesn't do that, which I thought was very, very interesting. Do you know what? Some fans are absolutely fine, but you always get the ones that think they are a privilege to themselves. I don't know why I've done that. There was this one video where the Team 10 house got leaked. You could type it in on Google and the house would come up. There was this, well, Nick came out and started asking all these people to move, saying, could you just give us a bit of privacy? And now this one woman, there's always one, isn't there? And it always happens to be a woman, whining like a little mare. She was standing there going, gentle with the children, they make you famous, they pay your paychecks. Do you know what though, lady? It isn't just you and the other 50 people there. It's the millions of people that watch his videos, and nearly all of them are at home watching them on YouTube. They're not bombarding his house trying to get him. And as Nick said, you can't do good for doing right, because you don't want to have pictures of these people standing outside your house because you're saying, oh, it's all right to come here. And on the other hand, if you don't go and take a picture, you're seen as being an evil little bean. Not easy, guys, not easy. So people like you, lady, who were saying, oh, be gentle with the children. He wasn't slapping them out the way. He was like asking them, please, could you just like get out of my garden and stop banging on my door? Which is fair enough. And that happened to Dan TDM as well. He had people knocking on his door. There was a tweet that came up and said, guys, please, can you just like leave me alone? He's had to move because of it. People, they are real people, guys. They have feelings. They aren't robots. They need privacy like everyone else does. It's hard when you're on the public eye, I know, but Nick said Jake didn't leak his own house, as that was conspiring as well, that Jake done it as well to get some sort of crazy freaky, I don't know why he would do that, but he didn't anyway. And just leave people alone on YouTube. They have real lives. If you really want to meet someone, go to the meet and greets they do, because when they are famous, they do meet and greets, guys. So just go and do that and just have a little bit of respect. The nitty gritty, when he said, why did everything change? Why did it all change? Greg Paul. And the way he just doesn't know how to describe that man, and basically he does not like him. He didn't really say anything else about Greg, as he didn't feel it was his place, I don't think, Nick, but you can get from what he was saying, he came in and wanted to change everything, and Nick didn't like it, obviously said why he didn't like it, and now he's gone. And when he did go, he knew that Jake wouldn't take it very well, and basically he said, like, I'm going to leave, and Jake was like, right, fine then, go, and he hasn't spoken to him since, which I thought was a bit sad. If someone leaves Team 10, so you had Nick, the family, and you're supposed to love one another, so if you leave, you obviously don't like us anymore. You're the traitor, so we can't talk to you anymore. And Shane said it's like a cult, and actually it is like a cult. You're either with us or against us. So Nick leaving, he was against them, and Jake hasn't spoken to him since. And the videos you see of Jake and Nick together, they look like best friends. And that mindset, I find it's not really hard, because I do find it really hard to understand, because I'm not like that, but I don't live their lives. I'm not in the limelight with millions and millions and millions of followers and millions and millions and millions of haters. It just seems a bit strange that you can't put your business beside and still have a friendship. You have to cut all ties. Another thing that made me sad, because obviously Jake had his fight with Deji, and Nick texted him saying good luck, but I know you don't need it, and he still didn't hear anything. And one of the things he's asked Shane is can you ask him if he will talk to me again? And I just thought, oh my god, that is like family fixers, if you like. I really hope Shane goes in there and finds the answers. Another interesting thing that Nick said about Jake was, well, Shane asked him, do you think Jake is a sociopath? He replied no, because the reasons he gave was that he shows way too much emotion in everything he does. But as they said in the previous episode, is that because he's a good manipulator? Or it makes you think, guys, it really does, if someone has emotion in everything. But he also said, which is interesting, that if something happens, a situation where something's happened or he doesn't like, he said he can see it in Jake's face. He's like processing the emotion he's feeling, like, why do I feel like that? Why is it doing this to me? And I thought that was very interesting, he finds it hard to process emotion. And another thing he said is that he hides his emotion because it's a sign of weakness. And looking from what the other series have said about his dad, he probably has been brought up to not cry. Crying's for girls. You're not allowed to do that. You have to be strong, be a man. And actually I can picture his dad being like that. And my partner's a little bit like it. I have never, in my 15 years of being with him, 14, 15 years, I have never, ever seen him cry. He is a typical sort of man's man, if you like. Very old-fashioned in his ways. And maybe Jake is a little bit as well, where he has to not show emotion. And he said, have you ever seen Jake cry, Nick? And only once. But the only time he cried, which makes me go back to the sociopath, is when something happened to him. But you don't know if it was something to do with his family, because that would associate back to him. So is he a selfish person? Is he not? I'm so interested in seeing what will be happening. Nick is very interested to see if Jake will open up to Shane about his life, his emotions, how he's actually feeling. But he did say that it's usually his close friends that he opens up to. But he also said, make sure you're on your own with him. Because if there's any other influence there, like his dad or anything else, he will lie and not show what he's actually feeling. So Nick has been really interested in watching it. Nick still has hope in Jake opening up and being honest with Shane. I think it depends on the situation that they're going to find themselves in. So if they are on their own, I think they will. But Nick did say, but we might all be very disappointed, especially if he's going to try and save himself and not be true, because he has done a lot of bad things, Jake, regardless if they were planned or not. Some of them were just gone too far, and it'll be interesting to see if he is genuine about the whole situation, because I have no idea. I'm not the mind of Jake Paul. I don't do pranks, I don't do this. It'll just be so interesting to see. But the video ended with Shane 2 hours before meeting Jake. So this is the build-up before. And it made me feel a little bit uncomfortable. I don't know about you guys, but he was talking about secretly filming Jake. And I know from the beginning he's always said we need to be honest and true with each other. Secretly filming someone is not being honest and true. It is, well, as he said, it's sneaky and it makes him feel a bit dark. And another thing he said as well, I really hope, I think he does anyway, because I think she's in the footage, but Katie, the therapist, you can't just take the therapist in there because Jake's going to know and then he'll be like, oh, I don't want to talk about it. So he's going to try and get Katie to come in as the producer, undercover producer, so she can be secretly watching him, thinking about what thought process he's got, so then they can meet up secretly when they're there and share it. And that just made me feel a little bit uncomfortable of sneaking someone in as someone else when they've got something else. And you've said from the beginning that you both want to be real with each other and be honest. That just isn't being honest. It did make me feel a little bit uncomfortable. It really did. But I think, well, shady is what Shane said, and it is a little bit shady. But I personally think you should just go in there with yourself and Andrew, your cameraman, and just be yourself. But she is definitely in the new series that's coming out on Friday, I believe, because she's sitting there and it's Jake and Shane there. So that'll be interesting to see how Shane has played that, because I personally felt made me feel uncomfortable, put it that way. I just didn't really like it. It ended with Jake saying, as a snippet for next week, "Do you trust me, Shane?" Shane basically went, do you trust me? And Jake responded with, I have to trust you. You're recording everything, which I thought was very, very interesting. So I am looking forward to seeing if Jake's genuine or not. How the therapist, Katie, plays a producer. Is she going to be good at it? And I just thought, surely Jake would know that she's the therapist, because he would have watched, but unless he's filmed it all before, then he must have done that, because I was thinking surely if Jake's watched the series, he would know about the therapist. But obviously Shane has filmed all this obviously a month ago or so, and he's editing it now, and obviously it's all coming out now. So I just thought that just wouldn't work. Jake Paul isn't an idiot. He obviously is very intelligent in what he wants to do and what he's doing because of what he has and what he's achieved in life. May not be the right or wrong way about doing it, but hey, he has got there. I find it fascinating, the background of other people, and there's going to be an interview of the ex as well. She was gaffer taped to the wall for some reason, which was a bit strange. But it'll be interesting to see what she says, because she doesn't have very nice things to say about Jake, whereas Nick, basically everything he said was quite nice really about Jake Paul. And I'm just very interested to see how Jake is in person. We are finally going to be in the Jake house, the Team 10 house, seeing what happens behind closed doors, and I am so interested in that. And guys, I'm so sorry that has gone on for such a long time, but I can't wait for the next one to come out. I really can't. But I'm going to round it up here and finish with a Thursday thought. It's a very small one for you guys today. It is: a person who feels appreciated will always do more than is expected, which is so true. Show someone you care, show someone you love them. If they've done something for you, give them a big hug and say thank you so much. It really is the small things in life that mount up to one big thing. And guys, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna apologise again if you're finding the Jake Paul thing a bit much, but I absolutely love it. Absolutely, it intrigues me. It is just so brilliant. And I thank you guys for watching, and for all my new subs, my old subscribers, you guys are amazing. I love you guys so much. And as always, remember to leave the video a cheeky thumbs up, subscribe to Cool Kids TV, and check out my other videos, as that really does mean the world. See you guys later. Bye.